a perfect outcome to all things is assured. Yeah, a perfect outcome to all things is assured. Yeah, I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. In every situation, there's a blessing somewhere. Come gather, brothers and sisters, and we'll see that it is there. Ooh, I need you, you need me. Yes, you do. And that's how our happiness is guaranteed. Take it, boys.
And now, in all your doings, be you blessed. Through you is ushered in a world unseen, unheard, yet truly there. Holy are you, and in your light, the world reflects your holiness. For you are not alone and friendless. I give thanks for you and join your efforts on behalf of God, knowing that they are on my behalf as well, and for all those who walk to God with us. Walk to God.
Perfect outcome to all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. I'm getting stronger every day because my faith leads the way. A perfect outcome to all things is assured. A perfect outcome to all things, yeah, is assured.
Wee-doggy!
Got to get your wee doggies in there. We appreciate all of our wee doggies. How is everybody?
Yeah.
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Happy Ramadan.
Yep.
Happy
Ramadan
Passover.
Mubarak. Sag Bashach.
Yeah, and yeah, goodness. It's so cool to be right here where we are in our borough of Brooklyn because we have all three of those major faiths right here in our neighborhood.
There's Greek Orthodox. We live above a mosque. The Greek Orthodox is on the corner. So we've had parades.
Yeah,
we've had a little Easter parade here. I don't know whether you do Easter parades where you are. That was new to us when we moved to Brooklyn. I didn't know you did. There were parade. You know, you got up really early and had donuts and coffee. That's what you did for Easter. When I was growing up, you went and sat on the dew and on your grandma's quilt and listened to the sunrise service. You remember that?
That's beautiful.
Remember getting up and going to sunrise service?
Well, yeah. Actually, when I lived in Florida, close to where Sina lives, we would
go to the beach.
Go to the beach at sunrise and walk across it was called the Causeway Bridge, and just bring in our guitars and singing and stuff. And I don't know. I've always loved this holiday. So. Yeah. It just feels good, and it also like ushers in spring.
Really strong coffee and cinnamon rolls in the fellowship hall after sunrise service. I don't know. That's what what we were thinking about this morning. But thank you for joining us on Easter at our 5 o'clock. We're the Mighty Companions, apparently.
Yeah, we are. Apparently, we are.
That's what they call me.
Yeah. So before we go into the lessons, which I can't wait because I'm really thrilled about these lessons.
I know. We're about to finish the first 100 lessons, right? We're into the first 100 days.
I know. So just to orient, if you haven't heard us before, we work from A Course in Miracles, which is our jam, and so we usually go over some of the lessons and some bits from the text. So before we get started, a lot of my songs that I write are based on A Course in Miracles lessons.
What are the odds?
Which A Perfect Outcome was. The lesson actually is a happy outcome to all things is assured. But I like the word perfect, so I used that one. But so our sing-along is based on, it's a classic sing-along that we've been doing here for a long time, but I just felt it good for today.
Almost made this our theme song.
We almost did, and we, you know, I had the pleasure of being with the member board of trustees last weekend.
Oh, you can tell the story.
Well, it's just wonderful to be with the member board of trustees last weekend in La Vida, and just to get to be with everybody physically and hug on people and stuff. And so, you know, me and Sinai had a great time in the airport where things got a little frustrating at some point, and we started singing this song. So here we go. Let things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
You can't change me.
You can't change me.
And you can't change
And you can't change God.
Well, let things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
And you and me.
So you and me.
We'll live in peace.
We live in peace.
I don't know.
I don't know
what anything is for.
what anything is for.
Unless I listen to that still small voice.
I have a still small voice
telling me.
It's telling me
this simple truth.
this simple truth.
That everything
is for my good.
So let things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
You can't change me.
You can't change me.
And you can't change
And you can't change God.
Let things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
And you and me.
And you and me.
We'll live in peace.
We live in peace.
I'm not this body.
I'm not this body
that you see.
that you see.
I am as God.
I am as God
created me.
She created me.
We are all.
And we are all
one family.
One family.
And it's possible.
Yes, it's possible.
To live in
It's possible to live in peace.
So
Bring it
let
on.
things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
You can't change me.
You can't change me.
And you
Come on,
can't
let's say it.
change God.
You can't change
Let
God.
things be.
I let things be.
Exactly as they are.
Exactly as they are.
You and me.
And you and me.
We'll live in peace.
We live in peace.
Kumbaya.
Alrighty.
I'm so
Line
glad
up
you're-
for graham crackers and milk.
I'm so glad you decided, but this is the happiest she's been all day. I'm so glad.
Oh, I know you've been under the
I
weather.
know. I hope you're feeling better today. So I know we sang that in the airport. It was so much fun.
Pump that into the PA system, right?
Yeah, and what at the TSA?
At the TSA.
Put it on the
Uh-huh.
loudspeaker. You know. So let's see what we got for the Course in Miracles lesson.
I wanted to go back a little bit because today's lesson, 99.
Today. Okay.
Today's lesson is 99. So I want to go back to like where we get to because you can read the Course in Miracles every year if you read 12.8 pages a week. Turns out
We do. That's what we do.
You know, like a good Course in Miracles person. That you know, so the lessons track with the text, and it's like 12.8 day kind of thing. So what she's doing in the lessons, she's doing in the text. And I don't know whether you know this or not, but the lessons came first.
Oh, did they?
Lessons came first,
Oh.
and then they said, "I want to know more," and
Oh, interesting.
the rest
I
of
actually
it came.
didn't know that.
Yep.
Huh.
So this is the text of why the lessons are the way they are, why the structure is the built the way, and it does go through a kind of a program.
It does.
Right? Because the half of the Course in Miracles is getting you to walk away from the things you do not value.
Yeah, and I mean, she even says at the beginning,
Right.
this is a course in mind training. So
You know, so she says in the very introduction, we're going to help you figure out the difference between what is real and what is unreal. Okay? So this is how she does it. So on lesson 94, we're going to go back on lesson
days.
94. It comes to, I am as God created me. It's like, oh, then I don't have to, then I'm already I already have everything within me, like the seed of an oak tree or anything else. I was created complete. There isn't anything that needs to be added or changed. I have to grow and share myself with the world.
Yeah, just listen to this first paragraph. It's completely beautiful. Today, we continue with the one idea which brings complete salvation. The one statement which makes all forms of temptation powerless. The one thought which renders the ego silent and entirely undone.
I am as
God created me. Yes. The sounds of this world are still. The sights of this world disappear, and all the thoughts that this world ever held are wiped away forever.
And we're going to continue talking about that today.
Yeah.
With this reality and what it is. It turns out that reality is a lot more like joy than we may have previously thought about. So we're going to connect reality and joy and presence and creativity. So let's continue. What's 95?
Well, I was just gonna make the observation that in Rhoda's homily this morning, she was leading us in this direction.
Good.
So, and I so enjoyed that homily. All right. So
I am as God created me, and then it is
I am one self united with my Creator.
Okay, so why would she move to I am as God created me, and then the next lesson, I am, again, one self,
capital S,
united with my Creator, because we still are feeling this sense of us and me and you and this and that and two, right? Mm-hmm. We're still feeling kind of two-ish, or kind of mini-ish, I am one self, which is the Creator. It says that, like, I was created, so I'm created, but she wants us to move from a sense of creative into a sense of presence. I am one self, instead of that. Now we're creating, and now we're presence. So keep going.
Well, I always like to read a couple sentences.
Yeah.
Because what she says is, today's idea accurately describes you as God created you.
As stable and actually true and ordinary. Yeah. In the best way of what is here and reliable. Go ahead.
You are one within yourself and one with Him. Yours is the unity of all creation.
One self.
And so then we go to salvation comes from my one self.
All right, so there's nothing to fix. We say from ourselves, saved doing, saved to do something. We're saved from all this efforting, this trying to become what the beautiful meditation was this morning. Our homily, Rhoda's homily is this idea of like, what am I trying to make happen? What am I trying to make happen here? Idea. So salvation comes from my one true self, which is presence and not doing, and I didn't create it. So that's good.
Yeah. But listen to what she says. Although you are one self, you experience yourself as two, as both good and evil, loving and hating, mind and body. This sense of being split into opposites induces feelings of acute and constant conflict. So see, that's the
thought system.
Yeah, that's the thought system.
You have to be able to endure that. She's saying, you see that if you can see it, you can endure it, and it's not you. This conflict.
Right.
Opposites that you see
and she
are
says,
never compatible.
It is a fact that truth and illusion cannot be reconciled.
Yes. Right. Like a little pregnant.
You can't.
Right. You just
reconcile those two. So that's pretty funny. Okay. 97.
97
is. This was actually Friday, I believe. This was on Good Friday, I believe. Lesson 97, I am spirit. And so today's idea identifies you with your one self. I am spirit.
Which is sort of back to moving again. So it's presence, but with power. With an, I don't want to say an agenda, but with purpose.
Oh, purpose, yeah.
With intent. So now spirit has this sense of intense or intent presence about it. So we move from I'm created to the
I am as God
I
created me.
I'm God created me to this I am this presence to I am this pregnant presence maybe.
Well, I am spirit.
I'm spirit.
Identifies you with your one self.
No split identity.
It accepts no split identity. It simply states the truth. So then let's see.
98.
Yesterday, 98, I will accept my part in God's plan for salvation.
Which is the remedy for if you feel like two. Take action on the one. If you feel like to, I will accept my part in God's plan for salvation. So there's a plan. There's now we're back to this looking dualism, but not two. Looking like two, I will accept my part in God's plan for this idea of self. So the rink is salvation, and I'm here and God's here. So now we're back in the world, but changed. Back in the world with a new intent. Back in the world as with this pregnant spirit, as something to do. Go.
This is reminding me of how we talk about having our spiritual aspiration.
Yeah.
And this particular lesson says we take a stand on one side today. We side with truth and let illusions go. So
not attack, not put down, just like we just let illusions go.
Yeah.
So today is
this today? Yeah. Lesson 99, salvation is my only function here.
So what I'm only ever doing is providing space for everybody to heal. Ultimately.
Salvation and forgiveness are the same.
It's already okay. It's already okay. Come sit next to me. You can sit next to me.
Wow. That's wonderful.
So there we are. So what's tomorrow? Let's do the first 100 days.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see what lesson 100 is tomorrow. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation.
What do you think everybody else's part is?
Essential to God's plan for salvation.
Wow.
Which leads me to...
we want to take responsibility, right?
Well, and it also leads me to my meditation moment, which,
Perfect.
is always including that which we like and that which we do not like, because it's all essential to God's plan for salvation. Yeah.
You are essential to God's plan for salvation, right? Because nothing gets taken out.
Yeah.
Not two means
one. All right, so I'm going to ring the bell 3 times and breathe 3 times. And the last breath will release on an Om. And then we'll do just a little, what I call the Circle of Love meditation. And then I'm going to play a very special song for you that I think really goes well for this day. So it's called Step Back and Let God Lead the Way. Of course, also based on Course in Miracles lesson. Yeah. So here we go. What a tremendous joy to be in this sanctuary together today on this beautiful holiday that most of the world celebrates. Together, acknowledging that we are one and there is not one person in this, or one living being, not only people, but trees, plants, all the animals, all the insects. Every one of us, every living being is essential to God's plan for salvation. So we know that in this understanding, in this realization, that we are co-creating together, all of us, a circle of unconditional love, where everything is included, that which we like and that which we do not like. What a glorious understanding, what a glorious freedom this is. To know that we are at peace. We are at peace. That is our default setting. So when we don't understand what to do and where to go, all we have to do is return to that peace and let God lead the way. Blessed be. And so it is.
The road lies before me. The path leads to home. On this road I travel, nevermore to roam. And the goddess, she walks with me. God walks with me. Her hand in mine. And though I may falter, I won't be left behind. I surely will falter, but I won't be left behind. And so I will step back, step back, step back, and let God lead the way. And so I will step back, step back, step back, and let God lead the way. My brother walks with me, and my sister too. All of us seeking to live in the truth. Sometimes we are troubled. We forget who we are, but we're brighter than glory, and heaven is ours. We shine bright as glory, and heaven is ours. And so I will step back, step back, step back, and let God lead the way. And so I will step back, step back, step back, and let God lead the way. Sing hallelujah, sing hallelujah, hallelujah. greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us, not just in some of us, but in each and every one of us. Yes. And as we liberate ourselves from our fears, our very presence will automatically liberate others. So sing hallelujah with me, folks, because we're brighter than glory, and heaven is ours. Here we go. We're going to sing hallelujah. Yes. A one, a two, a sing hallelujah. Sing hallelujah. Sing and so I will step back, step back, step back, and let God lead the way.
Happy Sunday,
Okay,
everybody.
yeah. Happy Easter.
Yes.
You have
How about that?
you have been to church.
Yes.
We're just gonna play the Yolanda's Greatest Hits
Yeah.
YouTube channel today. I don't know. Maybe that's what we'll do.
Oh, look, Jill
Yay,
has joined us.
Joe.
Hey, Jill.
Happy Easter, Joe.
Happy Easter.
Ramadan Mubarak, or
Yes.
Sak Pasach, whatever
Yes.
we're celebrating. I love this time of year because the sun sets later.
Yeah.
Right. We take walks, so sometimes it's like, oh my God, it's like 4:30. What's the hey sun? Hey, So it's coming back. I love this time of year because it comes back. So this part, in A Course in Miracles, is like we just did to the return of the light. Like lesson 51 is like the light has come. Right, so here we are in this. In the Course in Miracles, we're another 50 days. We're another 50 days since we learned that lesson, and we come up to, in the way the Course in Miracles is structured, is this chapter on why is everybody else here. You know what I mean? If we're all one and everything's one, and we're supposed to get used to this oneness and like get it through our skulls that there's nothing else happening here, like the blessed. Miss Jacqueline says, there's nothing else happening here. Then what's everybody else for?
That's funny.
I mean, what are dogs and cats and everything else? I mean, what's all this interaction? Why do we fall in love? Why am I thinking about you? Why do I miss you? Why do I feel why do I feel different and my stomach churns when I'm in your presence?
He's talking about me.
It's like, what is going on with our sense of self and other people, right? Have you ever been so wrapped up in somebody you can't even imagine your world without this other person in it? My dad died a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And that's a really weird feeling.
Yeah.
To have somebody that is really in your brain, in your head, right? I don't know about your dad, but my dad's in my head, and then it's like he's not here. He's not here anymore. A world without my dad in it. It's odd, I can't even describe it. It's like he's in my head, but he's not here. What do we do with these things?
That's a great example, though, of him still being alive. You know what I mean? The life goes on because you know, and you feel connected to that. Same with my mom.
And memories.
Yeah.
So what do we do? What is this? What is this other people? See, so in the Course of Miracles, other people, all other beings, your mighty companions. So, it's like everybody else is like you're chained to them, right? You can't get out of this. You're one. We're part of everyone.
Yeah.
And that's cool. Could be cool if we know what we're looking at. If we take that on as an identity, what does it mean when I'm me and my friends?
We're all of us together.
What would it mean, and what would we have? Well, in the vernacular of A Course in Miracles, you're going to love this. She calls that waking up. She literally calls it being awake or awakening.
We are awakening together. Right? Oh, wow.
It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. So the image I'll show you this image. The image I use on our booklet this week is one I'm sure we are all very familiar with, is a child getting up in the morning, right?
Aww.
So you're getting up, and the website comes from Families Online. It's about getting your kids settled and routine ready for school, right? So this is how to create an atmosphere where you can wake up, where it's inducive to you waking up, creating, and what's that usually? It's other people. It's associating and getting a routine and an attitude, and we're awakening together, right? It's not awakening by your bootstraps. It's called awakening together.
Oh God.
So with the sense of wiping the sleep from our eyes as we're on chapter 9, when we're going on this journey to discover who we are, what we are, and our place and function in the world, because she says your function is essential. I'm essential. Then what am I supposed to be doing, and what are all these people for? We're on the way to that, and that happens in about 8 or 9 chapters. So we're halfway to the peak of the mountain in the middle of A Course in Miracles, where she wants you to look in the cave and discover that you're God.
Yeah.
Right? We're actually what we're looking for. But till we get that, we are going to be encountering other people and the world in the way it is, and moving away. Remember, we're still moving away from what we do not want. We've come to A Course in Miracles, and we're moving away from what we've learned is hurting us, or the way we are continually choose suffering. Because what is the introduction to Course in Miracles say?
This is
A Course in Miracles.
Required course.
It is a required course. Only the time that you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you get to decide the curriculum. It only means that you get to decide the orders of the lessons. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a required course. So if it's a required course, and if it's natural, of this process of discerning what is real and not real, and if that's really natural, then how do other people help us do that? How do other people help us parse out or naturally perceive what is real and what isn't real, so we can make a good recording? I think this is being recorded.
Yeah, it says it is. Yep.
This.
Oh no, we're live. We're live, George, in the room.
Oh, is this a recording?
Yeah, no.
No. Oh.
No, this is live.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Oh,
live.
I know. It's so professional looking, isn't it, George? Oh, I know.
From our studio
This
here.
is not a recording. This is not a recording.
We're
Do not
live.
adjust your set. So
we're
here
ahead.
we are on
Yeah.
section
Chapter 9.
Chapter 9, Section 6. The acceptance of the atonement, of course, is going to be about accepting all beings as us, and your meeting is, of course, is going to be about the oneness. Be the practical, on the earth grittiness of oneness. This Section 6 is the acceptance of your brother.
Wow.
Which you're like going, what? What? How does this work? We're going to tell you. It's pretty short, so let's get to it.
This is great. Okay, so if y'all want to follow along, if you have your book or whatever, it's
Chapter 9.
ACIM Chapter 9, the acceptance of the atonement. Section 6, the acceptance
I'm
of
calling
your
it
brother.
Chapter 6. I'm using a PDF, so it might be Section 5. I don't know if the introductions are counted. Some do, some don't. So,
all right, so here it goes. How can you become increasingly aware of the Holy Spirit in you except by his effects.
Effects.
Effects, yeah. How then can you perceive him at all? If you inspire joy and others react to you with joy.
Read the question and the answer again. Just so
How
we're following
then?
along.
Okay, you want to start from the beginning? How can you become increasingly aware of the Holy Spirit in you except by his effects? How then can you perceive him at all? If you inspire joy and others react to you with joy, if it is in you joy and can produce joy, and if you can see that it does produce joy in others, this is the line that I don't understand. You must be disassociating it in yourself.
If
I
you,
don't
if you
quite
don't
get that.
if you don't feel it in your, if you feel joy from others, and you know that you inspire joy in other people, people enjoy being with you, and you enjoy being with others, but you don't feel like you're a very enjoyable person to be with, you're just disassociating.
Oh, or if you don't feel, if you don't realize your connection with others in that in that way.
Disassociation.
Okay, interesting. Strange that she would put that there, but
Well, she's a Jungian psychologist.
that's how we. That's why we love Hella, and she does interesting things with the text. Okay, so here we go. Hold on. There we go. Okay. What you offer to your brother, you offer to him because he cannot go beyond your offering in his giving. This is not because he limits his giving, but simply because you have limited your receiving.
See?
Wow. I see where I have limited my receiving, definitely. The decision to receive is the decision to accept.
This is a really beautiful way of looking at it, looking at oneness and actually our problems with ourselves and other people and habits and grittiness. This really kind of likely what you offer your brother, you offer him. Because he cannot go beyond your offering in his giving. If we want to be in a good and happy and safe place, not only do we have to believe in this safe place, we have to act like it and share safety with others.
Offer what we're wanting to receive. Yeah.
At our highest level.
Yeah.
So this is what I refer to as the production of joy and its effects, or how to perceive God. Good question. How to perceive God. As we discovered earlier, we were talking earlier, goes unseen, unheard, yet truly there. Yeah. That we were talking about. And so this is the recognition of our own internal joy. And we each of us have felt joy on meeting somebody. We anticipate meeting. Maybe when I go home and meet my mother, I can't wait to give her a hug. The joy of just being in my mother's presence, or anticipating the joy I'm going to feel in my mother's presence, visiting her in North Carolina, brings about joy to me. Who's doing that? Where's the joy coming from? It's this recognition of an internal joy that is actually found not in my mother, not in me, and sort of in us. This joy. And so, and she makes a warning here, we talked about it, this disassociation of the denial of this joy is just disassociation. And so the reminder is that creation is the production of joy. And it's always happening, right? Because presence is always happening. And the presence of joy is always here. And the presence of love is always here, and you do not see it. The blocks to love's awareness. I mean, she says this in any number of ways. And any number of teachers talk about it as well. The kingdom of heaven is before you. If you have ears to hear and don't see, this is the same. Creation is the production of joy, and it is always happening. And this presence of joy isn't limiting. We're limiting it. We're limiting what we give away, and we're limiting what we allow others to, the love of God, to receive the love of God from others or in the presence of others. Because we're saying, this other person is doing it, or I'm doing it, and it's limiting reality. It's limiting our perspective. It's limiting our ability to be deeply here, deeply loving, deeply listening, presence of God. And so that's why she calls it this way. She goes, the decision to receive is the decision to accept. It's like, oh, let things be exactly as they are. Can you give away this presence of healing? Can you give away what we so deeply want. Acceptance and deep belonging. Joy. Where's the joy? Who's creating this joy? And what does it have to do with other people? Why is it called acceptance of your brothers? It's this acceptance, togetherness is joy and creation are kind of all bubbling into like the same thing now.
Wow.
So go ahead.
Wow. I want to see. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything, just put them in.
Welcome, Arizona.
Oh, Arizona's here. Yeah.
Miss Z is in the house. Yay.
Yay. Wait, I want to see what the chat says. Okay, cool. Recording said speak back. Thanks, Rita. Oh, good. Okay, cool. And Arizona is going to pop in later. Okay. So back to...
Okay.
Here we are. If your brothers are part of you, will you accept them? Only they can teach you what you are, for your learning is the result of what you taught them.
I know. That's something to have on the front of our minds when we're judging others.
Yeah, because we're always teaching, right? So if we're judging, then and we get judgment back,
you're teaching what you say you are.
Yeah.
You're teaching who we are. We're always teaching.
You're right.
We're always reacting.
What you call upon in them, you call upon in yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to declare right now, I call upon joy in you and myself. What you call upon in them, you call upon in yourself. And as you call upon it in them, it becomes real to you.
That's the circle of experience, right?
That is. It is. It is. If what you do to my brother, you do to me.
And are you sure you do?
Yeah. And if you do everything for yourself because we are part of you, everything we do belongs to you as well.
Say that slowly and think about who is giving what, to whom, and why. Say it, read it again. Who is giving what, to whom, and why? Read it again.
Okay. Okay. If what you do to my brother, you do to me, God is speaking here, right? I mean, Holy Spirit or whatever.
Reality.
Okay. Yeah, okay. If what you do to my brother, you do to me, and if you do everything for yourself because we are part of you, everything we do belongs to you as well. Oh, I get that now. Yeah.
So it's speaking to and examining the motivations for why we really are doing anything at all. And how we make choices, because we're talking about values, right? Value and value what, do not value what is valueless, being able to see what is real and what is not real, so we can choose what is real because it's valuable. That's what we want. Satisfying. She's using all these very human ideas to get us to the awakening place, so we can set up the stage like our parents did when we were little kids, so we could get out of bed easy and get out and go to school, get out of the house and go to school, or go into the world, leave the house. So this is kind of a review. I'm sure you recognize this on projection and projection versus creation. The truth is that we're always one.
Creating.
Right.
Creation.
Yeah.
So just before we move into your commentary, I want to read this last two sentences in this paragraph because it's really cool. Okay, so his glory belongs to him, but it is equally yours. You cannot then be less glorious than he is, meaning God and your brother.
The glory.
Right? Yeah.
You were saying, and glory, like Yolanda was saying into the start, and glory is yours.
Yeah. Everyone God created is part of you and
shares
shares his glory with you.
It's a quality of presence. And this quality of presence, she's saying is this joy that is already here that we can align with and share and be, and this is the creative process, and we're doing it. The oneness is doing it. You aren't doing it, I'm not doing it. The fact that we're together and it's one thing is creating this deep, delicious, satisfying presence. And this is the difference between interacting with this presence or just being mad that it isn't going a different way.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, we are one creating. So the step one is the acceptance of what is this. Step two is what you encounter, what we always and forever are encountering is our own beliefs, our own teachings, our own concepts. Step three is to act on the glorious presence of joy, or act on what is true. She's trying to say, act on what you know, what I'm telling you, and you can prove that it's true. And this is the action, the presence, the attitude of healing, our own healing, the presence, the conditions we've created around ourselves for our own healing is the healing of others, that others have done for us. We have healed because the place for us and the conditions for it were right. And we weren't the only ones creating those conditions.
Right.
All of us were.
Yeah.
So my job is to participate in creating the present so that others can heal and I can heal. This is peace. This is joy. This is the act of creation. I think it's so cool to think about it this way.
Yeah.
So go ahead, continue.
Neither God's light nor yours is dimmed because you do not see. Wow, that's
Isn't
a good
that,
reminder.
Don't we worry about that? It was like, I'm
Yeah.
not getting it right. I need to start getting it right. It's like, oh.
Neither God's light nor yours is dimmed because you do not see. Wholeness is indivisible, but you cannot learn of your wholeness until you see it everywhere. When you awake in Him, you will know your magnitude by accepting His limitlessness as yours.
Talking about your brother and other people and what can happen in the world.
But meanwhile, you will judge it as you judge your brothers, and will accept it as you accept his.
Or limit it according to the crazy beliefs we have about what's possible, what's not possible. I can't have this. I want, I can never have what I want.
Yeah.
And on and on and on.
Right.
So this is awakening to wholeness. You need to find it in yourself. You can find it everywhere. It actually works in reverse as well. You can find it everywhere and then find it in yourself. But it's the search and it's the belief and the proving the oneness idea, this intent we have. So our task is to learn our wholeness, learn of our own wholeness, and to see it everywhere. Is it all necessary? As all kind of this, as not a million things happening at the same time, as one thing. And the result of seeing the world this way, or seeing with Christ's eyes, we say that, or awakening, letting the tomb roll, rolls away, the tomb rolls away, get up, is magnitude. How would it feel to get up from an illness, or get up from feeling like get up from being dead? Magnitude. Get up from being asleep is limitless. I go to sleep because I've placed limits on my own awareness, or limits on your awareness, or limits on my own healing, or whatever it is. Limitlessness. And she says all of this is available to us because of who we are. The result of this attitude and this seeing correctly is divine knowledge. So, and I'm sure you've experienced this before, you kind of know things that you shouldn't know. Or you kind of have an inkling. It's like, I think I'm going to go over here and do this thing because you just know.
I call it
this
intuition.
Divine knowledge when you get in the presence and nothing is threatening and you are yourself and sharing the one and you're seeing oneness everywhere. That's divine knowledge because it's true. Well, the alternative is to just project our unhealed and rejected parts of ourselves onto the world and deal with them externally. That's why other people help us do this, because part of us are still doing this. So those are the two things. So keep going. Read this next bit.
Okay, she talks about awakening or waking up. She goes, you are not yet awake, but you can learn how to awaken.
Yeah.
Very simply, the Holy Spirit teaches you to awaken others. As you see them waken you, you will learn what waking means. Okay, got it. We demonstrate this for each other here, I think, in the sanctuary. Yeah, we witness each other's journeys, and we see each other wake up.
Science of that's mirror neurons, and being in presence really works, and all kinds of stuff.
As you see them waken, you will learn what waking means, and because you have chosen to wake them, their gratitude and their appreciation of what you have given them will teach you its value. They will become the witnesses to your reality. As you were created witness to God.
Your reality.
Yet when the sonship comes together and accepts its oneness, it will be known by its creation.
A party, likely. when the sonship comes together and accepts its oneness, it will know its creation. It's like it'll be
That's
joyous.
Cute. Joy.
The witness to reality is just being awake. Just a witness to reality. Just awaken into the conditions and get ready to leave the house. So your task is to awaken so you can awaken others. And it's seeing them. The awakened part is seeing them as they are. Right? Not them performing human beings as a way that we think is acceptable or even recognized.
Right.
It's accepting. Can you accept your brothers who are one with you? And be the witness to reality that nothing's wrong and everything's copacetic, and you can maybe make a good decision if they're suffering, that you know that they don't have to suffer even though they do. Or maybe somebody would do that for you when I think I must suffer to get this. And so the result here that she's moving through is we will be known by our group. We will be known by our group creations. We will be known by the atmosphere that we create.
Wow.
And as a reminder that we created all of our brothers and all of our brothers created us. So we are a co-creator to the world, and the world is a co-creator to us. Because we didn't create ourselves, but we created everything else.
Are you talking about two levels here? Are you talking about?
So that's like it's so in the principles of God. That's the creative principles. That would be number 2 or number 3.
Oh, you're talking about the four.
The third creative principle, third principle of God, right? Talking about here. So this is the key to awakening, and it's giving and receiving as one in eternity. So we're giving what we want, and we're sharing reality, sharing what we know to be true. We're seeing correctly, you know, like you're my divine brother, and I don't, there's no correction that needs to be made. I don't see you as broken or need to be fixed or better than me, or I need to wash, up on a pedestal or something like that. So the key to awakening is this giving and receiving as one, and giving and accepting, receiving it as you're being treated as one as well. It can sometimes be hard to accept when somebody that you respect is treating you with respect. And so she has method here. The method is that miracles, this correct perception, are reparative in this group setting. They're reparative. We see correctly, we act differently, and something different happens, and we go, oh, that feels correct. I was like, oh, I was worried about nothing. Miracles reflect our oneness. Correct perception reflects our oneness. We make better decisions. We make different decisions. We act differently because we're coming from a different place, because we're seeing differently. Because I'm not threatened. I'm not trying to get you to like me or make something happen. So the result is one of the ways she talks about this, the feeling tone of this idea is that the need for time is over. So I don't have to correct the past. I don't have to wait for the future. It's all now. I don't need time to be happy anymore.
Oh, like as in I'll be happy when?
I'll be happy when? Or I'll be happy if this thing never happened. Right? So power is in that.
In the now.
Yeah, in the and the result is because there's no time, we're in this present. And so the past and the present become like very, very, very clear. Because there's no learning in it. Past and the present aren't alive. There's nothing
the past and the future? Or
I'm sorry, the past and the future.
Yeah. That's okay.
Thank you. So the past and the future aren't alive.
Right.
You can't go there. You can't live there. You can only disassociate and abstract there. Because it doesn't exist.
Right.
So solving problems in the past and the future is choosing to not be awake, choosing not to see, which looks like a coping mechanism because it is. Because we don't want to be that, we don't want to experience this grandeur that we are. So read this last bit and we're done.
All right, God's meaning is incomplete without you.
Happy Easter.
Yahoo! Cheers!
God's meaning is incomplete without you.
And you are incomplete without your creation.
Without all of the brothers and all living beings and things like that.
Accept your brother in this world and accept nothing else. For in him you will find your creations because he created them with you.
Remember this joy?
Yeah. You will never know that you are co-creator with God until you learn that your brother is co-creator with you.
So,
yeah.
If we're honest, we want two things in life, right? We want to have a good time, and we do. We want to be useful, and we want to be appreciated. That's where we are, you know. I like my little tie, and I want to get up and I take showers and things, you know.
Being your cute self.
I know. We keep pushing our inherent joy of living and life away because we're managing this human being, this judging in other people. We place limits on our experience, we place limits on others, we place limits on ourselves in order to try to be safe. The method is to find the joy within them, these people, places, and things, and find the joy within, and then find it actually residing in all beings everywhere. This joy that I love about myself, I'm actually finding it in your presence. This healing presence is also the nature of creation. This is how that we want to be useful. This is that feeling of like, oh, I know I'm for something. The healing presence is also the nature of creation. This is how we know we want to be beautiful. And this always involves other people. This satisfying presence of knowledge and divinity and joy is the creative existence of all power and glory that is you. We are only able to create with it, as well as we are able to fully let go into this deep presence of joy. We only and forever will create together. I'm Reverend Glen Ganaway, your favorite anarchist preacher, and this is the love of my life, the Reverend Yolanda, and I need to try to believe it.
Jesus is quite alright with me. Buddha is quite alright, oh yeah. Muhammad is quite alright with me. Abraham is alright. Well, I don't care what path you take. Every path leads to the same place. We're all children of God's grace, and all of it is alright. Oh yeah, all of it is alright. Krishna is quite alright with me.
I need to talk really fast because we're down to less than a minute.
It's 5:59.
It's 5:59, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned for a wonderful evening.
Oh goodness, we're so happy to be here in the sanctuary tonight, and thank you for joining us tonight. And don't forget to come back for Sounds of Awakening, because I have a very special guest,
We do.
Reverend Shanda Rules. So we'll see you here next time. Bye.